Right, whilst you're all here, before everybody else gets in, you can tell me if I'm lagging or not. How about that? Yeah? You can tell me if I'm lagging or not. There's already 135 of you in here. God. Oh, don't troll me. Please don't troll me. Just let me know. Are we lagging or not? Are we all right? Are we lagging? Yeah. Come on, Niall Smith. Lewis Keane, back of the net. I'm in sync. Get in there. Do you know, all it takes sometimes, guys, is a quick off and on. A quick off and on of your laptop. IT crowd. You know what I'm talking about. Turn it off, turn it on. Fixes the problems. We're back, everybody. Hello for everybody who's watching this back on the replay. My lovely subscribers have just told me 54 million times that I was out of sync. So we're back with a corrected stream. I have got my arse into gear. We're here with the transfer stream Q&A, and I'm here to talk to everybody, all the one Leadsers, about their thoughts. What is going on in the transfer window? What's going on? So what were we talking about on the last one, everyone? All me and my lovely subscribers are talking about what kit I like. You know, which one here I like best. And for all you who are new, you know, you're in for the replay. I don't know. It's between these two. I can't decide. White, it's that leads the colour in it. White is perfect. So, you know, allegedly Real Madrid copied their kit colours off Leeds United. We're not only here for transfer news, everybody. We're here for all this sort of stuff, you know. Vlad's in the building, says you did an auto and lagged a bit back there. Ben says my favourite shirt is the Thistle Hotel one with the classic rose badge. Ooh, sounds like a perfect painting. Yes, yeah. And as I was saying on the last one, everyone, this is what I paid a pretty penny for, a real pretty penny for on eBay. Thank you, you Robin Gitt, by the way. You know who you are. Yeah, the training shirt. A lot of people, yeah, some good questions. Diaz and Castellano up front. Diaz, Nipper. Diaz. Yeah, Castellano was saying on the last one that Taty would be my ideal person to go to when it comes to a striker. After researching him, after speaking to people, as you guys always know that I speak to people behind the scenes and just ask them what their thoughts are, and they just convince me. We have a little bit of a chat, and these are people I respect. So I think Taty Castellanos, listen, wouldn't be a bad shout. Wouldn't be a bad shout at all. If Liverpool rejected at 56 million, does that mean it gives us some leverage with other bids? Yeah, I mean, Andy, I'm not 100% sure what you mean there, mate. But what I will say is, I think if you go in on this tangent, 56 million is a lot of money. Now, we are being told allegedly that Leeds have rejected a bid, or Leeds are in the process of rejecting a bid, or Deco might have gone to Raphinha and said, look, Liverpool are going to bid for you to Leeds United. What do you think? And Raphinha might have just gone, no. And then that might have got out to a publication. That is Sport, by the way. Sport has reported it, which is normally a decent, reputable source. So, yeah, I don't know how much Leeds are looking to reject, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, the initial offer has to be accepted or rejected, and then it'll go to Raphinha. But maybe it's just gone to Raphinha first, and Liverpool thought, no, all right, then we're not going for it. We're not going to make a move, and it's been leaked to the press. But, yeah, in terms of leverage, yeah, I mean, if it means that Leeds have got money. I think Leeds have got money this window. I do. I think Leeds have got money anyway. You know, Ronaldo was signed for Manchester United last window, yeah. He was signed. And then a day later, Leeds spent 25 million on Dan James. So, yeah. Aaron, Conor, you're wrong about Real Madrid copying Leeds. It was Review copied. Shh. Aaron, that's not true. It's not true. Nah, it is, mate. It is. It is. Yeah, I was winding you all up, to be fair. I knew I'd get a few bites in there. Kurt says, don't think anyone picked up on this, but Leif Davis was heavily involved in the training video pre-Brentford. I personally think this is why we're not in for a left-back. What do you think? Kurt, yeah, I know what you mean, mate. I think Firpo's going to stay. God, Firpo. Yeah, I wouldn't have Firpo here next season, but I think, listen, it's his first season. The club are going to turn around and they're probably a little bit more patient than I am. And they'll probably just turn around and say, look, it's his first season. We'll give him another shot. Fair play. But Leeds have to get a quality left back in then, because I do not want to start a season next season with Junior Firpo at left back. So if Firpo can get better and maybe learn and compete with another left back, that would be preferential for me. But I mean, overall, what would I be doing? I mean, Leif Davis for me isn't good enough. He isn't good enough. This is Premier League we're talking about now. Premier League football. Leif Davis couldn't get ahead of Zamora at Bournemouth. You know, I think he played 13 times. So listen, I know a player can improve, of course, but I can get two left backs, but that's not going to happen. It's never going to happen, is it? So, yeah. Justin says, Connor, what do you think? City and Liverpool both bidding for KP. Do we have a bidding war? It depends on KP, mate. I know he's got a new house in Leeds. I know that for a fact. And these things do play a factor when it comes to footballers. So it depends on what he wants to do. I mean, Liverpool and Manchester City are huge offers, aren't they? And I do think, you forget the transfer window starts on June 10th. So I think a lot of the offers are going to start rolling in then. We've got 4 days till the start of the transfer window. So I think a lot of the offers are going to start rolling in then. I think City are going to come strong. Personally, I think they're going to come strong. I think Pep really, really likes him. So it's up to Calvin. I mean, what does he want? Does he want to be a club legend, or is Pep going to get on the phone and say, Jack, look over, look about 100 miles down south, 120 miles down south, and look at that other boy, the Peaky Blinder, Jack Grealish. Look what happened there, and look where he's at now. He's just won a Premier League title, and they were nearly in the Champions League final as well. That could be you. And that phone call from someone like Pep Guardiola is absolutely massive. Best believe Pep's been speaking to Bielsa as well, and Pep will also know how much Bielsa loved and loves probably still Calvin Phillips, and he will put a lot of trust into that. That's probably something that a lot of people aren't taking into consideration, but it genuinely is something that Pep will value very, very highly. And I bet he's been on the phone to Marcelo Bielsa. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, mate. I'd love him if he was to go. I'd love him to go to City. I can't be bothered with him going to Liverpool. Nah, can't be dealing with that. Mickey. I can't believe people are still giving him chances. It's staggering. We are Charity FC at points, aren't we? Sure, he's a nice kid. I'm sure he's a really, really nice kid. But please go and look at his stats. Please go and just look at his general output in the past 4 years. Listen, I know we only got him for 3 million, but for goodness sake, come on. Premier League, Leeds United. Can we please raise the bar? Please. I think we'll end up ripping Kiko's last year his contract up, Marcus. Yeah, I hope so. Flipping it. Connor, do you think Leeds will be getting Gonzalo Plata? To be honest, mate, it was a little bit of it was something I saw with Gonzalo Plata. Obviously, winger, Sporting Lisbon winger, was on loan at Real Valladolid this year. Did really, really well. And he'd be available for 8.5 million. I might do a video on him in the future. I'll have to wait and see on how it progresses. But he will be a replacement for Raphinha that brings the X factor. If we lose Raphinha, we need an X factor player. And currently, even with Brendan Aronson, when we bring in Rasmus Christensen, Taty Castellanos, I don't think they're that X factor. I think most teams in the Prem have X factor, and I don't think Leeds have that without Raphinha. So maybe Gonzalo Plata would fill that. His flair, his ability on the ball is very, very good. His output's decent. He's had rave reports this season from Spanish media and Portuguese media. So yeah, Plata would probably be someone who Leeds do look at, and it's cheap again. That's what I quite like. You look at Gonzalo Plata, 8.5 million. You look at Taty Castellanos, 12 million. Then you look at Rasmus Christensen, 10 million. Right, that's good business by Leeds. I mean, listen, we've not seen them play yet, but I like that. It's not 30 million for Rodrigo. It's not 18 million for Llorente. It's not 25 million for Dan James. We're not doing that, which I like. There's been a lot of people speaking about Brendan Aronson and if we've overpaid for him, because you look at Karim Adeyemi, who's just gone to Dortmund to replace Erling Haaland, went for less than Brendan Aronson. And it seems like Leeds have been in the bracket of overpaying before. But 24 million for a 21-year-old who's got bags of potential, and every single year he's improved. He's made it in the men's national team. He's a mainstay there. The US team is improving massively. So 24 million, is it that much? I don't think it is. Yeah, if you're talking 30 million, I'm turning around and thinking, wow. But 24 million, I don't think it's too bad. Ben, great question. I have a sip of tea. If I say his name, and you all know who I'm talking about here, I will get crucified. So I can't mention his name, okay? So that man whose name, who cannot be spoken of, Voldemort settings, not him, because we can't say his name, but his ability, the goals he scored, how when I was growing up as a kid, I watched this guy. It was him. But I'm going to go with my dad's favourite, who is my sort of second favourite, Mark Viduka. Mark Viduka. I loved Mark Viduka. Honestly, I'll tell you what we'll do. Tomorrow's episode of Generation Leeds, we'll get my dad talking about Mark Viduka. Tune in for that. Tune in for my dad talking about Mark Viduka. It's definitely worth it. Oh no, Josh knows. Josh knows. Time to unsubscribe. Luke, I didn't say his name. Alan's not him. No. Unfortunately, I absolutely loved him when I was growing up. I loved him, but I also now detest the man beyond belief. So yeah, it works in roundabouts. On ability wise, pure ability wise, it was always him. But I will not speak of his name. Don't worry, everyone. Carlos says Taty has the highest expected goals total in MLS this season. Yeah, I think he's got 11 in his last 17 as well. He's definitely the best striker in the MLS at the minute, which the standard of the MLS is drastically improving as well. Connor, what outgoings would you like to see happen this summer for me? Rodrigo, Roberts, Llorente, Forshaw, and Ayling. James, I've done a keep, sell, or bench video, mate. Go and check that out, and I've literally spoken about it all in depth, mate. But off the bat, Firpo, if I'm being ruthless, on top of what you've said, because I agree with all of the ones you've said. So Firpo on top of that. Klaassen I'd let go out on loan. And maybe Click. Although I'm coming round to the fact that Click could be a decent bench option. I didn't say it. You said it. I was talking about Samu Saiz. Oliver Morrison says 100% your best ever player was Rio, one of our best too. Oliver, our best. I'm hoping you're talking about West Ham there, mate. I'm hoping you're just an England fan. You can't be on this channel, Oliver. You can't. We accept people on this channel, mate. It's diverse, but the red side of what are you doing here, Ollie? What are you doing here? Listen, Rio was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. I always said Woodgate over Rio just because I loved Jonathan Woodgate. And I think if he was injury free, he'd have been a mainstay in the England setup, literally challenging John Terry for that starting spot. I think he was better on the ball than John Terry, was more physical than John Terry, was taller than John Terry. But Rio was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. He was so good. We didn't have him for long enough. What was it, 2 seasons? But yeah, Rio was just... I think Rio is the best Premier League defender there has ever been, aside from Jaap Stam. And it pains me because they're 2 Man United players. But yeah, I think Jaap Stam's the best defender I've ever seen. And Rio is a very close second because they're just such good ball players. Both of them could have played in any time period. Any time period. So yeah. Don't know why I've just been going on about that. But there you go. It's a Q&A, isn't it? It's a bit random. Get your questions in, everyone. Great question. Santhana Raj, hello, thank you. How much would Mark Viduka fetch now? Viduka in his prime, I mean, we got him from Celtic for 6 million. Leeds got him from Celtic for 6 million. So in his prime, northwards of 50. Viduka was so good. So good. This is what I mean when I'm talking about expectations. Like, look at that team. Strikers, we had Fowler, Keane, Viduka, Smith, Bridges. Literally, imagine that lot combined. What you get for that. Unbelievable. Yeah, Justin says Woody and Radaby. Yeah, listen, it's unpopular, mate, but I'd have always picked Woody over Radaby. Sacrilege, isn't it? A lot of Leeds fans will hate me for that. But I loved Woody. I absolutely loved him. Thought he was top. A lot of people are saying Gary Mack and speed, and that's why you need my dad on. That's why I've got my dad on these shows. You know, my dad's going to be back on tomorrow, Generation Leeds, to talk about that era. But yeah, that was before my time, so I'm not going to listen. I know of the historical context with the boys, that midfield, which was just incredible. Strachan, Batty, Speed, McAllister, you know, Chapman, Fairclough, you know, all the boys, Dorigo. I've had Dorigo on the channel before, but it was before my time. My start was the Champions League side. So I started watching Leeds in about 97, 98. So yeah, that was when I really, really started. So yeah, not seeing much love for the Chief. There's always love for the Chief. Come on, Terry was better. Nah, he wasn't, mate. No chance. No chance. Ball playing, Rio was unbelievable. Ball playing was unbelievable. Football IQ, intelligence. Terry was good, but I think he was limited. Rio could spray the ball. He'd move out from the back. Remember Ben White in the Championship? Yeah, this isn't a direct comparison with Rio Ferdinand, by the way. But when we used to watch Ben White in the Championship and we'd never seen anything like it, Rio was the start of ball-playing centre-backs and moving out of that defensive transition into the midfield phase and the attacking phase. The amount of attacks he started was unbelievable. Like, at points, he was pretty much a central midfielder, and he was so quick as well. So quick. I don't want to big him up too much, but he was a top player. Alfonso, what order would you take? O'Brien, Garner, or Gibbs White? Order, so 1, 2, 3. One, I would go with Lewis O'Brien. You guys know I was talking about Lewis O'Brien in November. I was talking about Lewis O'Brien last year. And I could not believe the amount of people who slandered him. He said, nah, he's not. Literally, people in January saying he's not good enough for 8 million. Huddersfield wanted 8 million for him in January. He's not worth it. Why is he not worth it? Why is he not worth it in the current market? At the time, he was 22, putting out incredible numbers. He's a top player in that division, arguably one of the best players in the Championship that's this season, top 5. Why would we not go in for him? Why is 8 million too expensive? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I literally couldn't. I'll tell you, if it was Lewis O'Brien Dino or Lewis O'Brien Aldo, tongue twister, people would be like, yeah, slap. Easy. 16 million. It's because he's from Huddersfield and it's not fashionable, telling you. So I would go O'Brien first, Gibbs White second, and Garner third. Just I've not seen Garner, I've seen a little bit of, but not too much of. I've seen a lot of Gibbs White, obviously, because I've covered Sheffield United and I've covered Huddersfield as well. So I've seen a lot of Lewis O'Brien. Why do people rate Harrison? Just don't see it. Do you know what it is, Jackie? I do rate him. I think people, because he gets goals and it's, 10 goals and 9 goals, even if, his goals are spread out and he's not consistent. His performances are nowhere near inconsistent. Sorry, it's like 1 in 4. People don't look at that. They will just look at the numbers. They don't look at what the potential numbers are if he's having 2 or 3 good games out of 4 and the level he could be at. They just literally look at the fact that he's got 10 goals this year, 9 goals last year. He's unbelievable. He's Leeds' second best player or whatever. I've literally seen that. There's nowhere near. He's got so many. Jack has spurts of form. He's so inconsistent. He's inconsistent in front of goal. His crossing's inconsistent. I like him a lot, and that's why I go in on him a lot. I've said it on this channel before. I feel like a PE teacher. It's like when you see one of those kids who's got so much potential, but he's not getting it at all. That's why you hone in on him, because it's like, he's got it in his locker. Like, I think Dan James has more limitations than what Jack Harrison has. But Jack, I just don't. Yeah, goals, okay, fantastic. But I think if you watch football, listen, if you're a spreadsheet merchant and everything is on data and stats and this, that, and the other, then fantastic. But an eye test on a football game is what I base football on. It's all perceptive, isn't it? It's subjective. I watch a football game and I think Jack Harrison could do so much more than he does. There was a barren period from after his hat trick at West Ham. I think it was literally till might have been like 10 games afterwards. I don't think he registered an assist or a goal for a winger in a team that's struggling. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Connor, what would you like next season's kit to look like? That with 1 Leeds on it. How about that? 1 Leeds. Yeah, let's do that. Super chat coming in. Daniel, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. Can we give Gary Kelly some props? He bled white, yellow, and blue. Yeah, I mean, I've got him on Facebook. I asked him to come on. And I don't think he does stuff like that. But he seems like a really nice lad. Yeah, Gary Kelly. Yeah, I'd love to have him on. Also, do you want to know a little spoiler? Because we're doing a Q&A. Okay. Thanks. I nearly got Smith on. I was close to getting Alan Smith. I think I'd have broken the Leeds internet, wouldn't I? So yeah, that was breaking. I had a contact. I've got a contact out there. Obviously, Smith's in America now, coaching, and he nearly got me in. And he said that he didn't want to come on in the end. I don't think he likes the Leeds. Yeah, we'll leave it there, but I don't think he likes the backlash he gets. So yeah, there we go. Nearly got him on though. Nearly got him on. I was nearly in dreamland. Without Jack Harrison and Raphinha, goals would be down, but his form is inconsistent. Yeah, Jack. We literally without Jack's goals, he would be. We would be down. You're right. I just think. I'll tell you what. Let's have a look at his. What I'm going to do is have a look at Jack Harrison's goals. I remember doing it for. Let's have a look at his statistics. I remember doing it for a video, Premier League video. He's got 16 goals in the Premier League. 71 appearances. That's probably about right, isn't it? So it's decent. But again, it's the eye test, isn't it? I was going to just look at how many, like the period of games he didn't score in this season when we needed someone like Jack Harrison to step up. When Rafa basically was out of form. But yeah. Rasmus is starting tonight. Rasmus. Christensen, absolute big units. Looks like Robert Molinar. What do you reckon? Molinar? We having it? Let's have a look at Molinar. Molinar. Not now. Molinar at Leeds. Let's have a look. Does he remind you of Molinar a bit? Oh, look at that. He does. Come on. Wait, I'm going to share this. I'm going to share my screen. Share. For all of you just joining, by the way, this is a Q&A. Yeah, sorry if you've come on here to get some, great knowledge or whatever. Look at that. Molinar. It's Molinar, isn't it? What are you saying? You having it? You having Molinar? Molinar was no, look at him there, mate. It's ferocious. Yeah, so I think he's got a bit of a look. I said it to someone the other day and they started laughing. David Hopkins. D says, so you think football scouting has gone too in favour of analytics? D, no, I get it when it comes to football and analytics. I get it when it comes to scouting and recruitment. I understand that. But as a fan watching the game, I don't think, you'll put a certain opinion out there. And if all of you have Twitter accounts, if all of you are in, in fact, your friendship groups won't say this because, at the pub, you don't start quoting XG and all this sort of stuff. I am a favour of it. I've literally quoted on this channel before, but I'm not 100% in favour of it. I'm almost like 50-50 because I think I can watch a football game and let's go for a player that I really love so it doesn't seem that I'm being biased. Raphinha has a bad game, right? Raphinha has a bad game. You'll then look at the numbers that people are putting out there and he's had a good game. But you've literally been watching the game and you've thought there's absolutely no way he's had a good game there. He's been poor. And I've done that so many times with Jack Harrison. And it seems like I'm scapegoating him. I'm not. It's because people have asked me about Harrison. I've done that so many times with Jack Harrison that I've literally watched him and gone, he's had an absolute shocker. There's a stat poll on him. And the rhetoric is he's had an unbelievable game where he just hasn't. And that's where I'm not in favour of it. That's where the eye test, loads of you, all of you will have played the game. You'll have played the game at a decent level. You know if someone's having a good game or not. And yeah, I just think sometimes it can just be a little bit manipulative. So yeah, that's what I think anyway. Who needs gigs when you have speed? No comparison, mate. Obviously. Connor, do you think the 49ers will take over this summer? Alan, I do. Yeah, I do. I think it's all ready for them. Carl says, do you think we'll go in for Winks this summer after Bielsa turned him down? I don't, Carl. I think Harry Winks is really, really limited. I think he's an average player. I think Harry Winks is probably a promoted side. If like Bournemouth were to go out and sign someone, Harry Winks. But then again, I think Lewis Cook's better than Harry Winks. Similar players, but Lewis Cook's better going forward. He's a better ball carrier. And he loses possession a lot, mate. I know he's got sort of a glamorous name. He's been at Tottenham. And once again, the stat padding, he'll have had however many Premier League games, maybe 80 Premier League games, and that suddenly makes him attractive. But when you are watching him, he's not a great player. Stats without context and misleading. The two facts, 100% there, Pat. You bang on, mate. You bang on. Loads of comments coming in, everyone. Never forget us playing Liverpool. Yeah. Block the spammer. This is where I need some mods. I need some mods. Is this the spammer? Yeah, it is. Get out of here. Weirdo. Berger over Adams any day. Different positions, mate. Different positions. Gavin says there's a lot analytics can't cover like players. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Players' confidence, which I think is such a big part of football. Stats can't measure mentality. Stats can't measure focus, concentration, all these things. Confidence, as you've said. Self-esteem. What? It can't. David Healy. The man. Oh, sorry. Did you mean Tyler Adams? I thought you meant Shea Adams. Tyler Adams. Well, still, they're different players, mate. Tyler Adams, nah. Tyler Adams. Once again, it's a player that we've not heard of before. He's maybe a little bit attractive because it's the American thing again. But we have got to call a spade, guys. We can't just want to sign everybody we're linked to, because then we'd have had some absolute atrocities on the side, in the side from last season's summer window. Tyler Adams is decent. He's a breaker-upper of play, but that's it. That's it. In my opinion. I don't think his ball retention's all great. I don't think his ball progression's all that great. He's not a ball carrier. I don't think his distribution is amazing. You'd bring him in to supplement KP in the double pivot. That's what you do. If he was to replace Calvin Phillips, we'd be in a world of hurt. We'd be in serious trouble next season. If he came in to replace Calvin Phillips, mark my words, we'd be in serious trouble through that middle next season. But Sander Berg plays a little bit further forward. I look at Sander Berg and think maybe if you're playing in a midfield diamond, he's one of the central midfielders. I think he could play like in his advanced state. Sander Berg every day. He's a monster. He's an absolute monster. 6'3", powerful ball carrier, can get goals. Was impressive in the Premier League for Sheffield United. He's done it before, and he'd be cheaper than Tyler Adams. How does that work? He'd be cheaper than Tyler Adams. Plays for a Norwegian setup as well. Saw him high-fiving with Haaland the other night. Berger all day. Sorry, mate. I thought you meant Shea Adams. Michael, thank you, my friend. Really appreciate it. Really do, mate. Thank you. Hello, mate. I hope you don't mind me asking how are you asking now? I have my microphone. You suggested what is the main things you need when starting a YouTube channel? If you don't mind me asking, and table prediction for next season. Table prediction, Michael. I'm going to get onto that in a later video, Max. None of the transfers have really taken shape yet. I mean, the transfer window hasn't even started. So, I'll get onto that in a later video. In terms of a YouTube channel, I started YouTube about 4 or 5 years ago, mate. I literally set up a camera and stuck it on an ironing board. Sounds very true, Geordie, but it's true. Excuse the pun. Yeah, I set it up on an ironing board, mate, and started speaking. I remember the first game, it was Middlesbrough versus Leeds, and I did it on an ironing board. Did it on an ironing board. Pause. In Australia. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. It was on a Periscope. Twitter used to have a feature Periscope where you do a live video on there, and I did that and put it onto YouTube. But yeah, I don't know, mate. Just a bit of confidence. Just do a bit of research, and I don't think people, and you guys will let me know. There's 813 of you in the building right now. I don't think people are that bothered about production. That's what I always found. I think people are bothered about what you're saying, and if you're relatable, and if you're a genuine guy, and if they feel like they could go to the pub and talk to you. And I think they are big factors when starting a YouTube channel. If you're starting YouTube to make money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you're starting YouTube for a passion, then that's it, Michael. That's the biggest advice I can give, mate. Just start it because you're passionate and people will fly to you. because that's what people want to see. People will log on after my language. I don't like swearing, but shit day at work, and they'll get on and they'll think, I've not really got anyone to talk to about Leeds in my family. I might have two girls who aren't interested in football and a lad who's not interested in football, and my wife might be on a shift. Well, what am I going to do? I want to speak about Leeds United. I want to see the transfer rumours. I want to see what Connor's dad's got to say. So I'm going to log on to One Leeds and have a watch of his stream. You know what I mean? So I think relatability is huge, mate. But passion is a big thing as well. So yeah, just do your best, mate. And who cares? And I'll shout you out. Of course I will. Alfie, what sort of content is on the Patreon? Interested in joining? Yeah, mate. Just a bit of bonus content, loads of stuff. I get my patrons to suggest ideas for me. Michael Edison of the Patreon channel suggested that he wanted a player profile of Taty Castellanos today, and he wanted to know the differences between the New York City FC network and the Red Bull network. I thought it was a really good question because it's like, will Leeds facilitate that relationship a little bit more with the New York City FC network now if we get someone like Taty Castellanos? Because we've explored it with the Red Bull network. We know the City group who comprise of Melbourne, New York City FC, Man City. They are worldwide, and will we establish a relationship with them now? Could we get more players from New York City or Melbourne or Man City or Girona? And yeah, it was an interesting video. People seem to really like it. We'll be doing loads of player profiles, be doing more in depth bits on signings as well. Just anything anybody's interested in. I'm here to facilitate. You guys want to know what I'm talking about, so there we go. Lee, spot on that speech, Connor. Yeah, cheers, mate. Just that's it. Just a bit of passion and relatability. I reckon I could go down to the pub with a lot of you. I literally, how many people on this channel have I been to the pub with? Maybe about 20. And that's when I've seen them at Leeds games. We've either gone in the Peacock, the Pavilion, whatever. Australia, people used to love the channel. Whatever, I'd go into a bar in Sydney or a bar in Melbourne, just sit and have a chat about Leeds. That's it. People I've met, Jay, who his brother wanted me to record him a birthday video. So shout out to you, mate. Served me in Starbucks 3 months ago. Sat and had a chat with him in the drive-through. That relatability, like where you can just chat to someone on a normal level about Leeds United. Like that's key, mate. Gareth Bale for one season. Don't think so, mate. No, I don't think so. I think obviously Leeds are going down. I mean, they said, didn't they, last season, that it's going to be a little bit more project youth and all this sort of stuff. But I do think the recruitment is going to be on the younger side. You look at Aronson, Christensen, potentially Castellanos. I don't think the model would be to get someone like Gareth Bale, who's 33, and his wages would be extortionate. It really would. Is the Grealish rumour true? I don't think so. That's one I've skirted around, to be honest, mate. Yeah. That's one I've skirted around. But yeah, I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so personally. Tom Gatlin, where's my water? After his performance for Wales, would you take a punt on Hennessy? Tom, I'd take a punt on any experienced goalkeeper at the minute. John Ruddy, Ben Foster, Wayne Hennessy. Any experienced goalkeeper that's going to aid Elan Melier. Send Klaassen out on loan. Send him wherever, ideally in the Championship, so he can get a feel of English football. Bring in an experienced goalkeeper. If they don't do that, that is brain dead. It is the simplest thing to do. Ben Foster was talking on his YouTube channel about being happy to be part of a football club to build a young keeper up. He's pretty much twerking for Leeds United. Ben Foster's spoken glowingly of Leeds United before. Ben Foster was keeping Daniel Bachmann, who some top clubs are interested in now, out of the Watford side last year. He's 35, complete professional. Why would you not go and do that? He's not going to be demanding loads for wages. So if you're talking about, goalkeepers, I would go from it. It'd be Ben Foster all day. But there are so many out there now. Lee Grant for Man United has just left the club. I'm sure he could be coaxed back in. But, if you're actually looking at, there's so many experienced goalkeepers out there. If they don't do it, it's absolutely ridiculous. It is glaringly obvious that we need another experienced keeper. We were saying it on the Room Mill last season. You literally started the season with 2 children as your keepers. Look at any other Premier League club. No other Premier League club has that. Even when you're looking at Tottenham Hotspur, the upper echelon of the Premier League, they've got Hugo Lloris is the goalkeeper. They've literally bought Fraser Forster in as that backup, an experienced backup. They're doing that at the top of the table. Are we arrogant? Are we that naive or arrogant that we won't do it at the bottom of the table? Mental, mate. Mental. We've got to do that. We have to. Yeah, but Mohammed, Ben Foster had the worst save percentage last season, a shitty YouTube channel. And there's a lot of factors to that. He was in and out of the team as well. And not only that, but that's not the sole premise of bringing him in, mate. That is not the sole premise of bringing him in. The entire style that Leeds United have now is completely different. It's not playing out from the back. That's not the Jesse Marsh way. So it's back to basics, really, when it comes to goalkeepers. Ben Foster is, for me, the pick of the bunch. Maybe John Ruddy in there, the pick of the bunch to come in and at least coax Elan Meslier through certain experiences. I mean, Ben Foster has had some good games as well. I remember him pulling off some great saves against Liverpool, Manchester City. There are some standouts from him. He was in a dire Watford team who changed the defence more regularly than us. It was ridiculous. So, I mean, we saw when we went down to Vicarage Road the state of their defence. So I do think that if we're making an excuse for Meslier when it comes to us saying, well, the defensive structure hasn't been consistent, it's not been good enough, the same case should be able to be made for other clubs as well. I think Ben Foster's a shoo-in. I mean, what's the alternative? What is the alternative? Unpopular opinion says Theo, if Firpo didn't fall, oh God, I don't know if I'm supposed to be reading this. If Firpo didn't fall for every trap, he would be the most complete left back Leeds fan since Alioski. Oh, stop. Aaron says, just sign up to your Patreon, lad. Keep up the awesome. Thanks, mate. As I said, everything helps. I'm looking at the minute to get a new mic because a lot of you guys complained about the mic. So that's my next purchase. Replacement for Junior, Connor. Oh, good question. There's an obvious one. Charlie Taylor. Yeah, Charlie Taylor. Once again, not fancy. Fans won't like it. They'll think I'm being a revisionist. They'll think that I want an ex-Leeds player. Charlie's just a very, very good left back. Bombs up and down. His heat map's crazy when it comes to the final third. Defensively very good. Wins free kicks. Ball retention's excellent. He's a massive Leeds fan. I grew up with him. He's a massive Leeds fan. It's perfect. He's going to be at a reduced value now. He's what, 27, 28? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Experienced Premier League player. But the thing is, Liz, it's not glamorous. It's not Hollywood. It's not Razzmatazz. But yeah, Charlie Taylor all day. All day. Cornet, I don't think he's an out-and-out left-back, to be honest, Junaid. Sorry if I've absolutely mullered your name there. Why do people hate Charlie Taylor? Because of Gary Monk's lies. That's what I'll say. Calvin Bassey. Yeah, Calvin Bassey. What a monster. What an absolute monster. I was watching his... he did a BT Sport thing before the Rangers game, and his story's incredible. His story's absolutely incredible. I couldn't believe how good he was in that final. We talk about percentages, one-on-one duels, success rate. Calvin Bassey, through the roof. Such a good player, but he's a centre-back, isn't he? Opinions on Charlie Cresswell. Should we play him or loan him out? Loan him out, I think, because I don't think we're going to play him. And I would like to see Robin Koch and Strauch as a centre-back partnership. We've never seen it for more than 3 games. So, yeah. Taylor for Firpo, no brainer. Gavin, literally, yeah, he's a massive Leeds fan, mate. Taylor, trust me, big Leeds fan. Michael says Charlie was probably the best left back. In fact, he was literally the best. We'll get Brownie to talk about Taylor as well. Charlie is a very, very good left back, but because he's at Burnley and because he's been relegated, relegations on his CV. Guys, Conor Gallagher had a relegation on his CV. How many top players have had relegations on the CV? Yeah, Charlie's a good player. He's a good player. There's loads of people talking about us getting Tarkowski. If you were to get one Burnley player, it would be him for me. Cornet, I don't really get where he'd fit if we're not playing any width. Nick Pope, obviously. I mean, Nick Pope, yeah, but he's not going to come in and be second string, is he? Did he, Bradley? Did he, Matthew? Who said that? Where did that come from? Yeah, I mean, listen, mate. If you've got a diehard Leeds fan refusing to play for Leeds when he's getting paid by the club, then seems very unusual, doesn't it? But listen, people don't want to believe it. People don't want to believe it. Connor, would you take Mertens? He's a free agent now. Yes, I would take Dries Mertens in a heartbeat, but once again, I don't think it's a system, isn't it? Is Dries Mertens going to come to Leeds United? The wage, to be fair, wages, I don't know with Leeds anymore. I don't know like what the ceiling is. We're paying Christensen 56 grand a week, which is a lot for a right back. If you're looking at star players and you're able to get Raphinha, I don't want him to go, but Raphinha's off the wage bill. Getting a few others off the wage bill, Helder Costa, Paveda, whatever, Leif Davis. If you're able to get those off the wage bill, then maybe we could afford him. But he's what, 32, 33? Is he in that? Is he of the mold that Leeds are looking at? But he is that X factor, isn't he? That I was talking about at the start. Leeds needing to replace Raphinha with X factor because we're losing X factor, and he is a player who creates something out of nothing. He's been world class in his career, hasn't he? Or maybe just elite, not world class. But yeah, I just don't know if he fits, mate. Bit off topic. What do you think of your boat, Ben? He was a little bit before my time, mate. A little bit before my time. As I said, I started watching Leeds in about '98, so a little bit before me. But my main striker in those times was Jimmy Floyd. You know what I mean? When I started following Leeds and Clive Vinard and stuff like that, they were my initial Leeds strike force. So yeah, I can't really comment that much on Yeboah, but from what I've read and what I've seen, incredible. God, this guy again. So, Chal, your passion is truly amazing, but when you're not talking, breathing, eating Leeds, what do you talk about? Nothing, mate. I've literally got nothing to my life. My poor girlfriend sits through this like it's bad. It is bad. I tried to get into, when I've mentioned to you guys millions of times before that I tried to get into AFL. And when I was in Australia, I watched them the other night, actually. There's a team called Collingwood, if you're not aware, and they're hated by everyone. And one of my good mates went out to Australia, and I was saying to him, me and my girlfriend were trying to get into AFL, and I was like, I just can't get into it, mate. And he was like, start following a team, and you'll get into it a little bit more. So I was like, who should I follow? I was like, Hawthorn, all these other clubs. And he went Collingwood, and I went, why? I was like, black and white stripes, all this sort of stuff. I'm like, why? And he went, because of the most hated team in Australia. And I went, right, they're my team then. You know what I mean? Just having that Leeds parallel there. So, yeah, AFL, I watched that for a little bit. I've tried to get into other sports, but there's just nothing like football for me. There is nothing like football. Like, I've started trying to get into a bit of golf recently. I'm awful, but I've tried to get into a bit of golf. F1 is probably my second sport. I love UFC. UFC is my second sport. Maybe F1's sort of third. So I try get into other things. But it's like when I'm bored, I'll just stream and talk about Leeds. It's bad. It really is bad, unfortunately. Mertens is 35. There you go, Jamie. There you go. He refused to play in the final game of Monk's season unless he was lying. David, let's just leave it, mate. But yeah, don't believe everything you read, mate. Honestly. Do you follow any NBA teams? I don't, mate. I apologize. I know that means I could speak to you about stuff like that. I've got a load of NBA. What have I got here? Is that NBA or not? I got an NBA jersey, I think, the other day. Brooklyn Nets. They're who I follow, apparently. There you go. Connor, what was the info you had on Click after your chat with him? Mate, it was nothing. It literally was nothing. When I met him, he was essentially just saying that he enjoyed the championship. He enjoyed the championship. And I just thought at that point, it's like, well, we shouldn't be speaking about the championship right now. It was literally nothing. It was actually quite commendable, really, because it was almost like if we were to go down to the championship, he'd stay with us no matter what. A really, really good guy as well. Top guy. Nice guy. Connor, is your girlfriend a bigger Leeds fan than you? No, mate. No, not at all. She's not really into football, but I've tried to get her into it. I keep saying to her, go on, name the Leeds starting 11. And she does all right, to be fair. She can get about 9 or 10 of them out. She used to like rugby, like Union beforehand. She's from Harrogate, so, it's a lot of people from there like rugby union. So yeah, she liked rugby union for a while, but like now it's you know, it's getting her off that, weaning her off that. What are your thoughts on Bielsa being the next England manager? Do it. Why not? Why not? Why not? Who's your current favourite player? Raphinha. Raphinha. Yeah, just give me one, mate. As I say with AFL, like Collingwood, someone gave me a name. This could be the start of something great Maxine plays. You know, you could tell me an NBA team here and I could just be like, I'm going to follow him. There you go. Liz, your dad is awesome. Love your Leeds generation. Yeah, Leeds generation with my dad will be back out tomorrow, everyone. If he's available, he's a hard man to get hold of. But yeah, he's my dad's a die-hard Leeds fan as well. Doesn't get to as many games as he's like because he's a grafter. He works so hard. Doesn't get a lot of leisure time. So yeah, we don't go to as many. I'd love to go to more Leeds games with him, but we don't. So the time that we have together talking about Leeds, it was quite nice last week because we sat here just talking about Leeds, and I thought that's going to be on the internet forever. You know, so that's something we can look back at. You know, because we don't get to many games with each other, which is a shame. But MT Swifty, been a fan of the channel for a while. Look forward to the Rumour Mill. Yeah, a lot of people like the Rumour Mill. It's been going for 3 years now. Yeah. So I appreciate that, mate. The channel was, I think my first bit of content was the Rumour Mill. Every single day I was doing it. So crazy. I'm from Harrogate, Connor. There you go, mate. There you go. I'm actually moving. I'm moving to Harrogate on Friday. Can you believe that? I'm moving. Colbath Road, if anyone's interested. Go for some beer. This naked HD person, they've literally created about 50 accounts. Yeah, I actually saw. I actually had a pint with a couple of Leeds fans in Colbath Brewery. Great place, great little stop off point. That was fantastic. Yeah, had a nice little pint there. If anyone's in Harrogate and you know wants to come for a beer or whatever, just let me know. Room Mill got me through COVID. Thanks, Eddie. Yeah, it got me through it as well, mate. I think. I follow Orlando Magic. It's been a Leeds fan, no success since the 90s. Kurt Hicks, why did you leave all Leeds TV? No reason, Kurt. No underlying reason. I literally just wanted to start my own thing, mate. That's all I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to do that for years and years and years. They gave me an incredible foundation to be able to build and get my name out there. And I just wanted to start something by myself. That's all it was. Do you think Minamino worth 17 million? Yes. I think. Yeah. Yeah, why not? What's 17 million nowadays? Graham Noble, cherish your time with your dad. Yep, 100%, Graham. Guys, I need some mods. Imagine a live one Leeds broadcast from a pub in Harrogate. There's one called The Last Post. I like it. Problem is, last time I went in there was like three Man United fans. Bizarre. In Harrogate. What's all that about, eh? Harrogate Wetherspoons, it's probably the best I've seen, to be honest, mate. In terms of spoons, it used to be a Turkish baths, didn't it? It's probably the best I've seen. I mean, Knaresborough fella. No, Barney. Nice place, Knaresborough. Nice place. Tom Rabs scares the life out of me that Marsh is going to persist with a 4-2-2-2. A big overhaul would be required to achieve it. You think he'll adapt to a 4-1-4-1 like the last couple of games of the season? I don't, mate. I think that was... You know, when we went through the last 10 games of the last season with Bielsa and we won 7 out of 10, this isn't to discredit Marcelo Bielsa, but I think a lot of the players took it upon themselves to maybe go a little bit more zonal. And that happens with football teams. You know, sometimes on the pitch, they can literally take it upon themselves to maybe be a little bit more defensive. You see that in the Man United game at home last season when Leeds, there's no chance Bielsa gets Leeds to go out like that. Literally one bank of 5, one bank of 4. That's it. That's what we played. I don't think Bielsa got Leeds to do that. So the reason I mention that is because I think it was a little bit of a loose framework. You guys might disagree for Leeds to go out there and you know, get the results in for the remainder of the season. I think Marsh, and I said this before the Brighton game, I said, give them a loose framework, just keep us in the division. Keep us in the division. Go out and do your thing, express yourself. I think that's what he did. I think maybe that's what he should have done at the start and then changed a little bit towards the end, then had a full-scale change for next season, but I don't think he did that. So yeah, in terms of a full change, listen, I was on the phone with Brownie the other night, and we're very nervous. Like, we are very nervous about what's coming because we just don't know. We've always had that Bielsa comfort blanket, you know what I mean? Starting the season really, really well. And we're not going to have that now. It is just, let's see what happens. Because if there is a real structure in place, if there is a few new players who've come in, who've played in this system before, we just don't know what we're going to be getting. We don't know. I mean, are we going to have a better injury record? Is the injury record going to be the same? Is Patrick Bamford going to be back? Is he going to be fit and firing? Is he going to get the same amount of goals as he did in that first campaign? Is Raphinha going to be there? Is Calvin going to be there? Who are their replacements? It's all up in the air. It's not as up in the air as it would have been if we'd have gone down. But are the 49ers going to be in charge? This rebuild is going to be mad. It's going to be mad. And that's why, like, I'm not getting too excited with like this Rasmus Christensen, Taty Castellanos, Brennan Aronson, because we need more. We need more. It's not just about these three now and leaving it for 4 or 5 weeks. It's tense now. It is tense. So I'm nervous as well. I'm really, really nervous. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Leeds going forward. Christian Larson, Rasmus Christensen is a great signing for Leeds. Being a Dane and seeing him play for Midtjylland against my team, Copenhagen, he looked top quality, the best to Leeds and Copenhagen. Yes, thank you, Christian. I nearly called you Christiansen then. Thank you so much. And that is the most Danish name I think I've ever seen, aside from Rasmus Christensen. So thank you for your comment, my friend. And listen, we hope he's going to be a top addition for Leeds United at a very, very decent price as well. PRM, what's your 3 realistic signings, Connor? From now on, I mean, I presume this isn't including Rasmus and co. So I would go Castellanos, at obviously New York City FC. Realistic, Lewis O'Brien. I think they'll move for Lewis O'Brien. I do. And Ben Foster. I'm going to go for it. I think they're realistic. Realistic, not what I want. Hi, Connor. Would you prefer Brereton Diaz from Blackburn? There's been interest shown from the past for him, or Castellanos from New York City. Castellanos, mate, all day. And you know that from your suggestion on my Patreon video. Yeah, Castellanos for me, mate. He just fits the profile. He's in form. Ben Brereton Diaz fell off a cliff a little bit after January, and Blackburn ultimately sank like a ship. So the consistency wasn't there. If he'd done it over a full season, I'd be a bit like, oh, okay. But listen, he's done amazingly well this year, especially with regards to Chile and stuff like that. So, yeah. Jason says, would you be surprised if we don't get more players? No. I will not, because I have this searing disappointment with Leeds United all the time. I thoroughly expect, when I say 5 or 6 players Leeds to get, it's let's go through them. So an experienced keeper, yeah, that's just a must. Left back, because we can't keep playing Stuart Dallas at left back. I don't think he's the quality of a Premier League left back as well. And he's going to be out for a ridiculous amount of time. So they have to invest in a left back. They can't just keep it to Junior Firpo by himself. Or even just Junior Firpo, then Leif Davis. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. It's a bottom 3 left side, that. So a left back. They've got a right back in now, which is fair enough. But for me, they've got to go for, they've got to go for a central midfielder again. If we're playing a 4-2-2-2 system, you're looking at what? An attacking midfielder. So central midfielder who can play defensive midfield and central midfield. If we're giving the board a little bit of credit, then you're looking at another attacking midfielder. Then you're looking at a striker. There's an argument there that you bring in 2 or 3 midfielders on top of Aronson. So yeah, a lot of players. So yeah, I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll get an experienced keeper. I hope. An experienced keeper. I think they'll get a left back, and I think they'll get a striker, and that will be disappointing. That would be very, very disappointing if they did that. So I'm hoping they prove me wrong. Facts, Mickey. Facts. James says, Connor, would you ever do live chats with fans via Discord or something? I would, James. I'm just sort of a little bit on the fence with it because I've seen a lot of YouTubers just get abused on there, and that'd just really annoy me. If people were just like sort of ringing in and just like coming on and just being dicks, what's the point? So it's a shame because it takes it away from the majority. So I think I might do it for patrons. And I might do it for Discord server members. I will put the link in the description below after this video, and that could be a really good idea. I'd need help on how to set it up because I've never done anything like that before. But I think unfortunately, to the general YouTube sphere, you just get bellends coming on and just wanting to make a name for themselves. So yeah, that's the shame, and it's the world we live in, unfortunately. Unless I looked at the people who were wanting to come in and have a chat and recognize the names, then I'd probably go against it. That could be a way I go forward with it, to be fair. Thank you, Chance. I've got it. Castellanos. There you go. 2 L's mean a Y, don't they? I know that, mate. I did Spanish, don't worry. Samuel Kitchen, I'm from the Tadcaster area. Went to Tadcaster Grammar, mate. There you go. Me and Brownie went to Tad Grammar. There you go. Kelvin, Connor, how come you're so much happier in preseason? Because Leeds aren't playing, mate. That's why. Oh, God. Leeds aren't playing, Kelvin. What a daft question. Yeah, no, Leeds aren't playing, and I've got nothing to be stressed about right yet, as of yet. So, listen, I'm a happy person. I am a happy person. Just as I've said, Leeds mean so much to me, and they wind me up so much that they make me depressed. Yeah, as you guys know, I am half glass empty, not half glass full when it comes to Leeds. But I see it as realism, but a lot of people see it as pessimism. So it is what it is. Football's subjective. Elbow says it would scar the channel. You're right, Connor. Yeah, I just don't know if I'd want it, to be honest. What I'm talking about, I'd love to get. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Like this, when I go for a coffee with subscribers or whatever, I don't know. Maybe some in the future you can do a meetup, not like one of those, YouTubers and all that sort of stuff. I guess it is like those YouTubers, but just if people wanted to go, let's do the Otley run. How about that? That's what we should do. The One Leeds Otley run, and we'll all meet. Yeah, we'll all do it down there. I'm sorry for the Australians, the Canadians, the Americans, and all you guys. But if you want to fly over, then why not? We'll do the Otley run at some point. Matthew Bradley, what do you do as a content? What do you do as a job, Connor? I just give you the answer. I'm a content creator, mate. I do podcasts, video work, graphics. I can do it all, mate. Jack of all trades. But yeah, broadcast journalism's my master's, mate. So yeah, I do bits and bats. I've worked for a fair few companies. Currently doing a bit for the Manchester Evening News at the minute. Boo! But don't worry, I'm on the City side. Don't worry, everyone. But yeah, I'm more on the Manchester City side at the minute. But yeah, I'm doing a bit of content creation for the Manchester Evening News. So I think you need a bigger water bottle. Look at this. Our kid. I got this from America. Only in America would they sell that. Look at that. A gallon. They don't do anything in half measures. It's supersize me, isn't it? Supersize everything. Guys, as well, I've not even checked how many likes have we got on this. There is literally 1,000 people here for a Q&A. And I'm just looking at myself. Guys, there's 1,000 of you in here, and there's only 260 likes. Please do me a favor and hit the like button. We'll go for a bit longer. I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm in, says Matt. I think you're talking about the Otley run there. That's what an idea that is, the Otley run. James Alcott has a good system when he chats. Yeah, I've spoken to James before about stuff like that, mate. He's very good, James. Big fan of his content. Copenhagen run, Connor. If you ever get there, then we'll do. Christian, if you tell me where, mate, when, and just give me a bit of. I know in Scandinavia, you guys pay a lot of money for things, don't you? I know your economy is thriving, which I'm obviously jealous of. But yeah, mate, it's a lot of money in it over there. You guys spend $1 or $2 on things. Connor, favorite lager, mate, and what striker would you get? What a question. Favorite lager, and Favorite lager. People are going to think I'm an alcoholic, aren't they? I keep talking about beer and meeting up in a pub, but that's just I'm just thinking of any social scene. We can go for a coffee, a soy flat white. I'll be there. We can do that. But in terms of lager, I'd probably go with. I've got a top three, mate. And you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below to this. We'll go the five, but the top three, I'd go Tyskie. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would. Tyskie number one, Staropramen 2, Madry 3, Guinness 4, San Miguel 5. How about that? Rate that. Rate my tier list of beer. Phil Westerman says, will the 49ers complete a full buyout and when? I think they will, mate, this summer. I think it's pretty... But then again, Radrizzani has essentially come out and said that he wants to improve the club, hasn't he? Said that he wants to remain at the club and improve everything around it. So shared ownership, I'm not a massive fan of, especially when it literally is 44 to 56%. I mean, it's nearly straight down the middle, isn't it? So I always think that there's going to be a bit of conflict in the board there. And I think there probably was when it came to Bielsa. I think it's either a minority share or a majority share that works. And when I say minority and majority, I'm talking like an 80-90 to 10 to 20 swing, really. But yeah, I think shared ownership, as equal as it is, can be a bit problematic. So I would like a full takeover, but we'll have to wait and see. Gail, would you like Pope? Connor, I would like Pope, mate. Yeah. Where can you buy that Guinness? Did I say lagers? Sorry. Yeah, I said, okay, we'll take Guinness out. I was just going to my 5 favorite beers. Replace that with, swearing in my dad. What would I drink? I don't go below 5% because I'm hardcore and I love hangovers. Don't like hangovers at all, but I just get a bit excited. I'll go with San Miguel 4, Stella 5. Sorry, Stella 5. Why not? My dad said that your top 5 is class, Connor. Yeah, I mean, favorite is Tyskie, mate. It's a joke. Tyskie is an exceptional beer. Sorry, I'm talking about beer too much. Peroni, I've missed out Peroni. Shocker. Yeah, Peroni, obviously. Peroni instead of Stella, obviously. Blue Moon. Yes, Blue Moon. Right, doing it again. Top, Blue Moon. Second, Tyskie. Third, Staropramen, 4 Madry, 5 Peroni. That's elite. Champions League of beers. The Champions League of lagers. Lagers, I should say. No Moretti. No, I like the Italian one. Is it Angelo Peretti? That honestly, if you've not had that, Angelo Peretti is unbelievable. Comes in a nice little bowl glass. Lovely. Moretti, mate. Nah. Betty's Tea Room in Harrogate. Here we saw Liz. I've been in there. We actually, 2 of our American friends came over and wanted to go into the Betty's in York, and they loved it. The Americans loved it. I think the Americans think that that's how we have every single like afternoon. If you guys aren't aware, Betty's is like a really sort of like the perception of Betty's is like an affluent tea room. And you have like teas, scones, and cakes, and it comes in like these sort of big, like, I don't know what you call them. You know what I'm talking about? One of those big things, like a compartment for cakes. It comes in that, and the Americans think we do that all the time. They absolutely love it. Like, like, oh my God, you got scones. Wow, you do this? You like cream? Like, wow, you do this every afternoon? I'm like, no, guys. No, we don't do this every afternoon. But they love it. They absolutely love it. I think the English are a little bit more like, oh. It's a little bit pretentious, isn't it? So you can tell I'm from Leeds, can't you? You can tell I'm from Leeds. And it's too expensive. Connor, you watching Love Island tonight? NFFC, I will not answer that because I'll probably lose subscribers or gain them. Overrated is Lee, maybe. I don't know, Lee, though. It's a big shout. It's a big shout. We gave you Big Macs. You gave us tea. It's a cake stand. Not a cake compartment, no. Compartments for cakes. Are you going to watch the Denmark game because Rasmus is starting? Samuel, someone just asked me about another certain program tonight. I will not be watching Rasmus. Michael, Connor, how long does Firpo get to see the improvement? Take the risk and stay with him, or play Christensen, Yelder, and Strout there? Yeah, mate, the Yelder and Strout experiment needs to get in the bin. I don't like that. Yelder is a centre back. Strout is a centre back. Play them as centre backs. If Yelder's not going to get minutes, loan him. Loan him like you're going to do Cresswell. I'd rather Cresswell and Yelder get, you know, 46 championship games in comparison to getting 2 Premier League starts. As we've seen with Cody Drama, the profile goes high. It flies up, doesn't it? So this is why we need 2 left backs. In my opinion, we need a left back. If you're going to go, unbelievable settings. If we've got a left back like Charlie Taylor, and then got another up and coming left back, that'd be exceptional. Maybe you could even get another player on loan. You literally could get another player on loan from a top club. I'd have to go and do some research. Maybe give us Nico Williams or whatever on loan, and then we can get Charlie Taylor in. It could be an absolute shocking shout, but you get where I'm coming from. So yeah, Firpo, this is really harsh for me to say and quite cutting, but this is why you guys love the show. In my opinion, there will be no improvement. There will be no improvement. His spatial awareness it's an innate footballing thing. If you've got it, you've got it. If you haven't, you haven't. I don't think his spatial awareness will improve. I think his decision making is shocking. I think he's clumsy. I think he's ill-disciplined. I don't see how he's going to improve that much. The Premier League just seems too quick for him. Way too quick for him. So yeah, his stock's going to be relatively high because he's played a few Premier League, and his injury record is just ridiculous as well. His injury record and the amount of yellow cards, it was embarrassing, the amount of yellow cards. So yeah, I'd be getting rid of him. But listen, Leeds, I don't know. Hopefully, if you get a competent left back like someone like Charlie Taylor, he'll just displace Firpo within. Firpo might get 2 or 3 games, might make a mistake, then Taylor will just come in. Firberto Carlos. Hope you're right, mate. Hope you're right. Yeah, Tashin's got a good point. It's like Firpo makes Barry Douglas look like Sonic the Hedgehog. Baz, yeah, he didn't get that many games, did he? But at least his set piece delivery, you knew when we get him on the pitch, his left foot was incredible. Anthony Robinson, someone I've mentioned before, mate. I like Anthony Robinson. Very aggressive, gets up and down. A lot of buzzwords when it comes to left back, but he does fit a lot of them. He's young. So yeah, I do like Anthony Robinson. As I said, my pick would be Taylor, but Chris, I remember your video about why Firpo's a sign of the season. So when I think of Taty Castellanos, I'm worried. Yeah, listen, mate, that was all based on listen. When you come on YouTube, you put your head above the parapet. I think I get more things right than I get things wrong. But I was just on a hype train with Firpo. 13 million, Barcelona. Wow. I was on a hype train with him. A massive hype train. I thought with the Bielsa system, he's going to be bombing up and down. I didn't realize how poor he is on the ball. I didn't realize God, he's just an accident waiting to happen. So yeah, bad from my point of view. Carl Taras, I'm seeing journalist Conor McGilligan in all these Leeds News No articles. I've made it mode. Oh yeah, mate. That's when you know you've made it. when you're in some, yeah, a lot of them are spelling my name wrong as well. It's one N. Get it right. Oh, Gail, don't be giving me nightmares like that. Oh God, seeing he's going to be giving Helder Costa a chance. Was his record in La Liga 27 games? Was it 1 assist and no goals? My God. Why is he giving Helder Costa a chance? Why is he giving Ian Poveda? Just not a Premier League player. Not a Premier League player. Yeah, not because I don't think anybody. Yeah, that's what I mean, mate. If anybody had come on beforehand and said Junior Firpo was going to be a dire signing, I'd have been like, fair play. And I'd have been a bit confused as well. I'd have been like, what? So yeah. I think it's I've got to hold my hands up to that one. Tom says, "Do you think that Taty Castellanos looks like he'd love himself and out to have too much of an ego? I see our players and don't get this vibe." Tom, we need that, mate. Look at every single Premier League setup. There's players with egos, and what do you get with egos? Yeah, maybe a little bit of attitude here and there, but you get confidence, you get self-esteem, you get players who are going to be able to wear that white shirt and wear it with confidence. You look at some of our players in the past, arrogant. Yeah, Mark Viduka, an arrogant footballer. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, an arrogant footballer. You go back in time, so many players that have put on that white shirt have been probably quite egotistical and have got attitudes. You've got to find the right balance between that and the changing room. But ultimately, we need players like that on the pitch to win us football games. To win us football games. What do we do? Do we just bring in nice guys all the time? Nice guys who are all right with this or all right with that. You know, they all seem very friendly. No, you need angry players. You need players who are going to be in that setup who are going to shake up a few heads. You know what I mean? You need players who are on the field who are going to be wanting the ball and don't care about the fans in terms of that pressure that we put on them. The best Leeds players have felt the pressure and dealt with it, you know? And sometimes I think if you get a player who's naturally got, if you're looking at someone like Balotelli, then I can understand that, but we're not. We're looking at a player who's there's a difference between there's also a difference between loving yourself and um just being confident. Like why does I'd ask a question back to you, Tom. Why do you think he loves himself? What is it about him that loves himself? You know, is it because he scores loads of goals and celebrates? Like, he's got self assurance. That's what we need. We've got too many players who are frightened of everything and have fragile egos. And when it gets tough, a lot of them don't stand up. You know, um. So yeah, not for me, mate. Bring more egos in. More egos in. Yeah, Boya, Batty, great for their confident style, aggressive style. Cantona was an arrogant scumbag we soon got rid. True, Mickey, but look at the player he went on to be. You manage him right. You manage him right, and look what he did. uh, Unpopular opinion. Cody Drame could be absolutely classic. He could be, mate. He could be. Theo. It's true, mate. It's true. Imagine if he just gets the ball. Imagine first game of the season. Don't know why I'm picking up Notts Forest, but I've just got a feeling we're going to get him in our first three games. Gets the ball, touches it with his left foot. Castellanos knocks it out of his feet, pings it in the top corner, and just stands there like that. We're all going to be turning around and saying he's got like an attitude or an ego. We're going to be going, no, take my money, get Castellanos on the back of my shirt, and do it again next week. That's what I'm going to be saying. I'd absolutely love that. Bring more attitude, bring more egos. You know what I mean? Castellanos scores a goal. They all try, grab him and hug him. Get off me. I'm just going to stand there like that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Stand in front of the fans. Love that. That's what I'm all about it, mate. A lot of people might disagree with me, but yeah, Lee, be a dream. That just love it, mate. Just loving it. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see with him. Nottingham, not. So sorry. Yeah, a lot of people get a bit upset. It's Notts County in it, of course. Yeah. Connor, do we know anything on Liverpool talking to Phillips? Yeah, they're ramping up their interest, mate. They are ramping up their interest. It makes sense as well. Rafa's already knocked them back by the sounds of it. So, yeah, Phillips is an interesting one. Maybe he's going to be sort of like a replacement for Henderson. I think they're going to be siphoning him out of that side. He's, 33 now? I think they're looking to get sort of a young, able body who is going to be able to replicate what Henderson delivers from that defensive midfield role. But it depends, really. Because Phillips is going to have to start. I think that's what he's going to be looking at. Now, if he goes to Man City, Rodri's going to be ahead of him. If he goes to Liverpool, Fabinho's going to be ahead of him, you know? So is he going to be what? It's all up to Phillips, really. You know, do you want to be starting every single game for your boyhood club, or do you want to be sitting on the bench winning titles, winning the Champions League, bit part? You know, some people have different expectations. Everyone, look at Alan Shearer. You know what I mean? He had Man United knocking at his door, and he was literally about to. You know, he could have added another 6, 7 Premier League titles to his trophy list, and he didn't, because he didn't. You know, he wasn't interested in that. He wasn't interested in being potentially a bit part behind Sheringham, York, Cole, whatever, and occasionally getting on and this, that, and the other. He wanted to be the mainstay for his hometown club. So yeah, it depends on Phillips's characteristics. That's really what it is. Yeah, be the next Tevez. That'd be nice, mate, wouldn't it? That'd be nice. Yeah, Jake, have you watched anything of Aronson? Yeah, he looked good, didn't he? I thought even in the game against Uruguay when he came on, he looked decent. He gave them a little bit of a change. And I also thought, you know, when you look at a lot of what the media is saying online, the American media, they all absolutely love him. I thought he came on and did a really good job. And it's against a good caliber of opponent. You look, it's Uruguay. You know, Uruguay, no mugs at all. I thought Palestri, the Man United kid, played really well as well. But yeah, overall, I thought Aronson's had a decent campaign, to be quite honest with you, the 2 games he's been away. So that's good. You know, it would have been turning around and thinking, oh, God, if he'd have had two absolute horror shows. But he just looks like a nuisance, which I absolutely love. But stepping up to the Premier League is a completely different task. Michael, we were talking about Tony Curry, actually, the other day. Weird you brought that up. We're talking about Tony Curry because there was a goal he scored, I think it was in 74 or 76 at Highbury. Eddie Gray set him up and he just pinged it in the top corner. Unbelievable goal. And I was just saying to my dad, I was like, what you know about Tony Curry? Do you like Tony Curry? He was like, yeah, he's a fantastic player. Didn't miss the Sheffield United, so he said he didn't fully get it signed, sealed, and delivered at Leeds. But he said for Sheffield United, he was absolutely fantastic. He was for Leeds as well, but he said he never got England recognition as well. So my dad was a bit annoyed at that. You said Aronson wasn't an 8. Did I? Have to send me the clip of me saying that, mate. I don't think I've ever said Aronson wasn't an 8. Where would he have played? I've said before that he's an advanced 8, but he can play as a 10 in a tip of a 4-4-2 diamond. Never not said he was an 8. I mean, where else would he play? I don't know if he's creative enough to be an out-and-out 10. I don't think I've ever said he's not an 8. Could call this a One Leeds marathoner stream. Yeah, I need to go, to be honest with you. I don't know why I'm still here. Thank you, everybody. There's 950 of you. Please make sure that you're liking the video, of course. Aronson is not creative end. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I understand. More of an engine. He's not. Yeah, if you watch Aronson, he's not a playmaker. He's not Mr. Creative. We're not looking at another Pablo Hernandez here. He is an engine. So Giles says, of course, we want to keep Raf and KP. However, is our signing of new players contingent on selling one or both of 2 of our stars? I've asked that, Sujal. I've asked that. It surely has to make an impact, because if they're using the Leicester model, Leicester did pre-plan to sell Mahrez, they pre-plan to sign Kante to use some of their budget going forward, obviously Maguire as well. So clubs have to plan for that. You know, these are 2 of our major assets. It's definitely going to have an impact on our summer transfer dealings. You know, there's got to be an equilibrium here. Leeds have to bring in money as well. A lot of people just seem to think, I mean, we don't sell any players. Never happens. We literally just add, and somehow we've got the smallest squad. But yeah, there's got to be some balance. For me, one of them is going to have to leave. That's my opinion. Guys, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there. I'm a little bit hungry. I think I came on this at 6 or 10 past 6 because the stream had knacked up. Please make sure you like the video. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. We'll do one of these again sometime, but I am going to do a live stream in the Patreon account at some point, probably similarly to this. So make sure you go join that if you're interested in that. Thank you so much, everybody. And we will be back, as always, with the Rumour Mill tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. I'll see you in a bit.